Hello and welcome to ARC Encounters. My name is Natalia Bashura and I'm going to be your host today as we move through the topic of how to boost your immunity through the lens of community. Today we're going to be having Casey Cox as our guide as we walk through that conversation, and he's joined by a special VIP guest. And before we hop along that path, we're going to be jumping into a short clip of what it looks like to walk along the ARC path.
ARC is the lifestyle path to better choices. It empowers us to live life to the fullest and paves the way for people like you and me to discover our unique purpose and passion. Choosing to walk the ARC path invites transformation and growth in 5 key areas of life: leadership, communication, mindset, community, and lifestyle. As we dive into these lenses, they redirect our focus and guide us into a deeper understanding of where we're at today and where we're going tomorrow. This is ARC Encounter.
Hey, as your guide on the ARC Encounter, I am so excited to share with you that life is abundant and we get to go there together. My name's Casey and I am on the journey of the ARC path with you, and today we are engaging community. It means you, it means me, and it means every one of us are sharing a like experience. And so I'm just filled with joy. Are you? Because if I have joy, I could share it with you if you're a part of my community. I have peace. Do you? And if you're a part of my community, then I've got an abundance amount of peace. And that's really what lays a healthy foundation for me to go and boost my immunity, is the fact that I'm not stressed. Even while I'm sitting here talking to you under these lights, I don't have stress, because it's not about a show. It's not about a production. It's about a connection. And connection really is the foundation both of your community and your immunity, where you really connect with who you are and what you're doing to live your best life now. Your immunity goes up because you're making choices that are going to serve you. Well, on this ARC Encounter today, I have a special friend. I have a guest that's joining me, and I'd love to introduce you to my guest. Jose Vallejo, thank you for joining us today. I got a secret to tell you. He had no idea what he was getting into when he joined us. So if you're at home today thinking, where is Casey getting these guests? Well, where did I find you, Jose?
I was walking down the street. He said, I thought he said Shark Encounters, and it's joking. Well, we're good friends. We know from our the team referral network.
So we do a business networking group. We've been together probably, is it 4 months?
Yes.
About 4 months. Yeah. So our relationship is only 4 months old. And yet in those very quick 4 months, now we meet each other once a week. Sometimes we miss a couple weeks in between. You went on vacation, didn't see you for a week. I was on vacation. So it's not like we're spending a lot of time together.
Right.
And yet we spend time together in community. And I have discovered personally Jose's VIP. He might not know it yet, but Jose, I'm going to give you a chance to share. What's your VIP? We're going to start with your value. What are the values that you invest in? What are the things that guide you? They're kind of your convictions. Share with us what you know about that language that is really new to you, but it's my language.
Right. Well, what I value, a lot of things I value, I put value on, but really number one is family. I value my family. I value my loved ones. I value, when I say family, it's not just my brothers and sisters and parents, are those who look after me, and I can look after too. So I put a lot of value in that because I feel that they give me a lot of value as well. So value is a big thing, and I value growth. And I say growth, not just for me, personally, and my mind and my physical abilities, but I want to grow to help my family grow, and I like to share that growth with my family. So those are some things that I think about more and more as I'm getting a little bit older. Things I want to get better at so I can share with my family.
And so I encountered Jose about 4 months ago, and we were talking about this topic of community and immunity, and I was looking over, who do I know that I think could speak to this topic? And it wasn't because we have this long history, it's because of his values. And as I saw Jose's values come out, I said, I think he's got something else to share. What are your values? What are the things that come out naturally for you? Because that's where you become a very trustworthy person, because your values are consistent. And what that leads you to become, not just unarguable of your values, but unshakable. We look for things in our guests. I think Jose is unshakable. I know that because you have an identity that is consistent. What are some of the ways that your identity shows up? Where do people know you? How would they reach out to you? what's a role or an expression that brings consistently for you?
I mean, and what do you mean in regards to like, how do they connect with me?
Let me help you.
Please.
You're an athlete,
Yes.
but you're not just any athlete.
Well,
You have
I strive to be an
you strive to be an athlete, but I think I'm an athlete, but I couldn't keep up with this guy. What are you doing and you compete?
Well, I do triathlons. I'm actually I compete in half Ironmans, and I'm training to do a complete Ironman at the end of or in October. So I do triathlons, and part of doing the triathlons is the training groups that I train with. So I train with a swim team here locally in Covina, and I have different groups that I just run with. But I'm a big part of the triathlon community, and triathlon consists of running, swimming, and biking. So those are three disciplines that I can venture off with different subgroups within that community. So I'm that's something that I'm constantly trying to get better at.
You're affirming my selection of bringing you on today because you just described three different communities that you're a part of, all because your identity as an athlete is now being driven towards a triathlon.
Yes.
And you compete on these on a regular basis, but you opened up with your values being all about family and not just your nucleus family, but the broader circuit of people that surround you. And I think that comes out as a way that you impact others. Has anybody ever said, Jose, tell me how you do it?
All the time.
Has anybody ever said, Jose, teach me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Jose, what do you do that this comes out as purpose, that you're actually transforming lives around you? How is it that you engage other people on a regular basis?
Well, it's the questions, how do you do this? Teach me. One of the ways I like to lead is by example. And one of the ways I like to share with people is by doing it. And so if I say you look at me, I'm definitely not a physical specimen, and you can see me running and swimming and biking. And what I say is I can do it, you can do it. I could ride a bike, you could ride a bike. I could run. So I share this with people, and that's really how I connect. And I really try to keep it as simple as riding a bike. Something we all did as kids is ride a bike. What do you do for fun? You ride a bike. Not too long ago we were talking about true boredom. What did you do when you're bored? You ride a bike, and that was fun. When you were a child, what did you do just for fun? Sometimes I would just run around the room for fun, and we got to bring that back. And I try to embody that attitude where I'm running for fun, I'm biking for fun, I'm swimming for fun, and I truly am having fun. And I share this with my friends and family. I share how much fun I have with it, and I hope to inspire them to do the same.
I love that. And that inspiration is really a point I bring to you. And I hope you are being inspired, just engaging in this. Go, wow, is it really that simple? And the truth of the matter is, community really is that simple. We make it complicated when we start having all these other voices in our heads, or we start making assumptions. We just breathe those things off and have more fun. Think about a party, bring a celebration, and quit having so much stress around your community. The same thing is true for your immunity. Quit having so much stress about it. Just have a little fun, relax, and enjoy life, and your immunity can actually rise and boost. And so we brought Jose in today to engage with you in Arc Encounter. Prior to today, I'm not sure that Jose even knew the word arc other than the shark encounter. Shark encounter or arc encounter? Which one's the difference?
Right.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to walk Jose through an arc encounter for the first time, just like you might be coming with us for the first time. So Jose, the first thing we do with ARC is we acknowledge. It's an acronym to acknowledge what is seen, what is unseen. Okay. I imagine that sometimes in your running, there are unseen feelings that come up. Absolutely. There's unseen elements that are important, and you've overcome those things. Absolutely. As you look at those things in community, okay, we bring it back to community. What are some of the unseen aspects of family or friends or business community that you see and you go, it's important to not miss those things? What are unseen aspects of community?
That's a great question. The unseen aspects of it, man, I'm having a hard time answering that question because I don't focus too much on the unseen aspects of community. And that's a really good question. I really focus on what we can see and what we could feel, we could grab onto. But the unseen, I think, would be the lack of those things, the lack of what you can see, what you can feel, what you can express, what you can what you're failing to express by action. So by me not doing these things and sharing it, that's the unseen, challenges with that community. So
I love that you just muscled through that question.
yeah, thanks.
And I know you're strong enough to handle it because you can go the distance in the competition. And that's really what an ARC encounter is about. It's about being confronted with something I haven't thought about before. I don't know. I've never thought about what's unseen. I've only gone into what is seen. And as you expand your acknowledgement to the unseen, the ARC encounter becomes real. And you just encountered that now to go, what would it be? What would a lack of the good things be?
Right.
And now you can begin to acknowledge them and go, I want less of that. And I want more of this. So, Jose, tell me a little bit about what are the things you look for in community? We talked about the unseen first, because that way we get confronted by it.
Right.
How do you know you're in a good community?
The number one thing I is to feel support, and I don't have to hear it, and I don't have to see it, but in community, and I could just talk about our little community of our networking group, just in simple conversations with everybody there, you feel the support from one another. It may sound silly, but you feel the love. You really do. You feel the positivity. You feel it, and that's so important because you don't have to hear it, and the actions are great, but the feeling of that community is it's kind of hard to put into words. But in basic conversations, simple conversations we've had with you in the past, I could feel that support. So having that support from the community is super important.
When I think of the feelings, there's emotion involved in that. And sometimes we don't know how to articulate our emotions. We know what we feel. I don't feel good. I feel bad. I feel angry. I feel happy. But there's emotion that gets tied to that. And what I want to invite you to bring into community is the fact that emotion is simply energy in motion. And that's emotion. And as an athlete, motion and momentum go hand in hand.
Yes.
And once you start moving in a direction, it's easier to stay in that direction.
That's right.
The object at rest tends to stay at rest.
Right.
The other one, an object that's not moving, needs to be moved upon.
Right.
Here we are with community and immunity. How do you stay healthy enough? What do you do to take care of your health? And how does your community keep you healthy and boosting your immunity?
So that's my community. Consists of my family, my loved ones, my friends that I'm close with, and all of the people that I'm close with, like including my family. We all share similar values when it comes to our health, and it makes my life so much easier when my wife wants to eat healthy. I could eat healthy. My kids eat healthy. I eat healthy, and very similarly to the triathlete community, you don't see too many of these triathletes out at bars drinking or smoking, anytime before or after the race. So again, just by seeing that example, seeing what they're doing, it not only encourages me that I'm doing the right thing, but it helps me enforce and continue to do the right things.
And so maybe today an acknowledgement is that the community that you've surrounded yourself with is not helping you. They're not leading you forward. And what Jose's drawing out for us is the fact that he's drawn resource and strength by surrounding himself with people who are encouraging him to become that triathlete that he's going after. And so community is powerful because you actually do become more like the community you surround yourself with. So are you surrounding yourself with people who you want to be like, or are you surrounding yourself with people who you really don't like? Another way I think about it is the surrounding community a cage or a celebration? Do they tolerate you? Do they celebrate you? And as we look at healing, we want to release the things that don't serve us, help us, or lead us forward. And we want to embrace the things that help build us up. As we move along the ARC encounter, we acknowledge and then we heal. We release what doesn't work, we take in what does, and then we move to restoration. So, is there training involved in your communities? Like if I want to be a part of your business network, do I have to get better at something, or how does restoration happen in community?
Well, that's in the business of my business. I mean, if you want to get better at something, there's a lot of great things. Communication is huge, and communication not just big in business, but if you want to get better at, I think, life, communication is key.
Absolutely.
So communication is a big part of having success, not just with business, but with community. and then just the daily life skills of doing what you say you're going to do, and holding yourself accountable to do the right things all the time. So those are super important things. And I think if I could think of more, I just can't. They don't come to
You don't
mind
have
right
to.
now. But my point is,
Yeah.
with just those alone, it can help you be successful in any community, whether it's business or the athletic world. You stay consistent with those things, it's going to help out.
Is there any mentor or individual that came alongside you on this journey and welcomed you into a new community, or how does it happen that you find a new community? I mean, I think there's times that you and I want a better community or a new community. We just don't know how to find it. How did you find these communities that are encouraging you to be better?
Yeah, that's I don't want to say it's by luck or by chance, because I know that I was seeking to be better, right?
So let me pause you there.
Yeah.
It's not by luck or by chance.
Right, thank you.
It's by choice.
It's by choice, yeah.
And you were choosing to seek out that community.
Absolutely. And I made a decision, years ago, that I wanted to be better. And someone asked me, like, what do you mean better? Better at what? Well, I said a better father, a better mortgage consultant, a better human being, a better husband. I want to be better. I just want to be better. And I made that decision. So
and you said years. Give me 10 years ago, 3 years ago, 15 years ago.
I would say maybe 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 8 years ago, you had this crossroads moment of, I want to be better.
Yes.
And the ARC encounter is about really finding a lifestyle of better choices. So we're meeting you 8 years down the road.
Yes.
Imagine if we would have met you 8 years ago.
I wish I would have met you 20 years ago.
And yet this is where we meet you today. And so if you are at a place that is Jose's 8 years ago, I want to invite you to say, you know what? I want to start choosing better.
Yeah.
Back to Jose now.
Yeah.
8 years ago, you said you want to be better. How did you find it?
How did I find the being better?
Who came alongside you? How did you know you were progressing?
Well, in my line of work, it's a measurable numbers. How many families am I helping with my job? I do mortgage. How many families am I helping? Find a home, finances. It's a measurable. It's easily measurable. But in athletics, same thing. Am I running faster? That's measurable. But I felt disconnected from my family and my wife and my kids. I was so overwhelmed with work and life and everything that
stress
comes
is
with
what comes to mind as you described that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the stresses of life. And I realized I could be a better father. I would go to the soccer games and I would go to the events, but I wasn't present. And I realized that. And it came to me. It's a seed from a video, a book, or something. A seed was planted in my mind, and it made me realize, like, I'm not what I want to be. I'm not good enough. I could be better for them. So at that point, because I made that decision to be better, again, by choice, not by chance, I started meeting people that I wanted to be like, or people that I thought were better, and they were good people,
Yep.
And it allowed me to start different conversations than the conversations I was having with the people that I grew up with, or the people that maybe were fine where they were. And again, nothing wrong with being fine with where you are in life. But I realized that, although we're still friends, if you want to stay where you're at, I want to get better. So I want to find people that are also trying to be better. So
yeah,
through the business community, I was able to meet, coaches. There's all in finance and in sales. There's a ton of sales coaches and gurus, and
there's a lot of help out there.
There's a lot of help out there, and it's easy to find someone that you can connect with. It's easy to find if you're looking for it, right?
Yeah.
If you want that change in your life.
And so we draw that together, and we just bring that back to go, there is a celebration for you. There is a victory for you. Jose has lived this out for just 8 years.
Yeah.
You got a few more years ahead of you, I presume.
I hope so.
And yet he's not done.
Yeah.
Have you competed in the triathlon before?
I've done about 30 triathlons, I think.
30 triathlons. Why are you still competing?
Yeah, because I feel I can be better.
I just knew that was what was coming next.
I feel like I can get better.
And so no matter where your immunity is right now, maybe you feel like you're at risk. You're in jeopardy of having a poor immunity. Choose better. Maybe you're a triathlete, and yet you can still choose better.
Yeah.
Our ARC encounter is to meet you on that path so that you can have what we call a kingdom celebration where you really are in a place where it's undeniably your authority, where you stand in a place, I talk about it as a place of peace, place of joy, being in an engagement to say, oh man, success.
Yeah.
And sometimes success is just finishing the race.
Absolutely.
And
Most times, but
most of the time.
Yeah.
And really where we're at today, Jose,
Yeah.
is inviting you into an ARC encounter for the first
Mm-hmm.
time to go, well done. You've done well, you fought the good fight, and you're
Mm-hmm.
finishing a race. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you for being on a journey for Jose. You made it possible for Jose to have an encounter today, because without you, there'd be nothing to invite Jose into. And so thank you for being the most important person in the room. You are a VIP. Have you taken the time to write out your values, discover your identity, really express your purpose? If you'd like to be a guest, our guests are right here. We call them unarguable, unshakable, undeniable people of VIP. Thanks for being on our journey today, and we are going to tell you how to stay connected with us going forward.
You know, I just love what Casey and Jose were saying about how you can find community and choose community that helps you live a healthier lifestyle. And I'm so glad that you were here being able to be part of that conversation. And if you'd like to continue to be part of that conversation, you can come and join us on our website, arcpath.com, or come and listen to the podcast that Casey and Bernard are doing that kind of discuss and have more conversations like this. It's available on all streaming platforms that you use. So come check us out, learn more, find our courses on circlesnow.com. And we're so glad you're here on ARC Encounters with us today.